Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us. Topping our news at this hour, the record high rate of former service members committing suicide.
An average of 20 veterans a day committed suicide in 2014. That new estimate is based on a comprehensive analysis conducted by the Department of Veterans Affairs. The VA examined more than 55 million veteran records from 1979 through 2014 from all 50 states. The previous report released by the VA in 2010 only examined records from 20 states. The 2010 report estimated 22 veterans a day committed suicide. Although there is a slight decline, the numbers are far too high. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley is joining us now live from Venice with more on these findings. Christopher.
Well, good evening, Scott and Haley. This new study finds that 65% of all veterans who committed suicide in 2014 were ages 50 or older. Today, here at the American Legion, we spoke to one man who said he contemplated it after returning from Vietnam.
Just let me straighten up. I can't take the luxury, of emotion.
Rod Diamond served in the Army from 1971 to 78. He's no stranger to suicide.
I knew guys that committed suicide, and I had a buddy in Nam. He committed suicide the hard way. He got on the white horse.
Diamond's friend got addicted to drugs and killed himself. The VA says in 2014, 20 veterans committed suicide every day. A high statistic until you learned that number was even higher in 2010.
Did I ever contemplate? Yeah, I did. I did. I think what saved me was something inside that knew it ain't right.
Diamond came close to becoming one of those statistics. Today, he tells anyone who will listen that help is always around the corner.
It's not a do-it-yourself kit. And yeah, the world might suck big for you, but it can get better if you get some help.
One of the people you might turn to is Dr. Christopher Kortman.
People don't typically want to die. They want to be out of pain.
Dr. Kortman is a psychologist and accomplished author.
Suicide is about losing all hope to ever get out of this pain. And one of the things we owe our veterans is that there's hope out there, there's help out there. There's something that can be done so that they can feel better, and then they want to live.
On life, you got to keep at it, okay? You keep at it, and it will get better. You're not alone.
Here at the American Legion in Venice, they do have support groups that meet regularly. The American Legion can be reached at 941-485-4784. Again, that number on your screen, 485-4784. They try to provide the help and the hope that Dr. Kortman was talking about. Haley, back to you.
Thank you, Christopher. Now to a developing story in Venice. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is investigating a suspected drowning death of a Venice man. Sheriff's deputies responded to a call about a swimmer in distress in the Chestnut Creek neighborhood. Around 2 this afternoon, deputies say a woman called for help after she saw her son, 56-year-old Edward Stack, struggling on a raft in the canal behind a home in the Bermuda Isles Circle. The sheriff's underwater recovery force team and a helicopter searched the area for about an hour and a half before they found Stack's body. This investigation is ongoing.
A construction worker dies after falling 30 feet from a Longboat Key condominium. Longboat Key police say the 50-year-old man was working at the Beach Walk condos on Gulf of Mexico Drive this morning when he fell from scaffolding and landed on a concrete sidewalk. He suffered a head injury and was taken to Blake Medical Center where he underwent surgery. He died around 2 o'clock this afternoon. The man's name has not been released. He worked for a Complete General Contracting group. A follow-up now on the search for the person who set a rabbit on fire in Northport. Sheriff's deputies say 22-year-old Manessa Walker was bitten by the rabbit named Thumper back on June 12th. Witnesses say they saw him chase the rabbit while it was on fire a few minutes later. Deputies believe Walker is now hiding in the Punta Gorda area. He faces charges for aggravated animal cruelty. The rabbit is still recovering from severe burns on its ears and tissue damage and is being cared for now at the Wildlife Center in Venice.
It's been a busy summer for the new EMS unit in Parrish. The Medical Services Ambulance Station has only been in service for 2 months, but according to the department's representative, the unit has been responding to around 100 calls a month. And feedback from the community has been outstanding. They say the biggest advantage is the geographic area it covers, which includes Parrish, Duet, and other surrounding areas. The unit was put in place as an effort to reduce long response times in that area.
Many business owners on St. Armand's Circle are happy to be there, but for others it is a different story. The Tube Dude has joined a few other businesses in deciding to leave St. Armand's. Tube Dude's owner, Scott Gerber, says he has had some frustrations, which has led him to believe his business would do better at another locations. He said it's becoming more of a party atmosphere on the Circle, with younger people frequenting the area there. In just a few weeks, Tube Dude will be doing business in downtown Sarasota.
We feel that the people that are coming to St. Armand's are a different crowd than what they used to be when we first moved here. And I think that St. Armand's is becoming more of a destination to come eat.
Tube Dude's last day at St. Armand's location will be July 31st. They'll open a new location on Main Street in downtown Sarasota the next day. Despite some businesses leaving St. Armand's, many of the owners there say they enjoy having a St. Armand's address.
Some main streets in the downtown area of Sarasota will soon have a little more flower power. The Downtown Improvement District plans to install 138 flower baskets to light poles throughout the heart of the city. The baskets will line Main Street, and the project will extend to Palm Avenue, Lemon Avenue, First Street, and State Street. The entire project will cost $431,000, which includes the purchase of the flowers and maintaining them over the next 4 fiscal years. The project has been awarded to Plant Parents. Crews will start putting up the baskets in a few weeks, and they should all be up by September.
So far, it's a record-breaking season for sea turtle nesting here on the Suncoast. According to Mote Marine Lab, as of early July, there are more than 2,600 confirmed nests throughout 35 miles of beaches from Longboat Key south to Venice. This breaks last year's record by 163 nests, and last year's number was recorded during the entire 6-month season. We are now only about 2 months into the season. Longboat Key and Casey Key already broke records for individual beaches, and Lido Beach and Venice are not far behind their past local records. The first nest to hatch on the Suncoast was found last week in Venice. This is really encouraging news after we told you just yesterday that several sea turtles died as a result of boat impacts over the weekend. So we know that their future, at least with 2,600 nests, is looking pretty bright.
Yeah, those isolated incidents. But, you know, hopefully, the future is looking good. And it's also looking good if you want to, I guess, warm up outside because it is very, very hot and steamy, John.
Toasty. How else can you put it? It is really toasty. A little bit cooler than yesterday by a degree or two, but so what? I mean, it's still really sultry outside. And the fact is we're not getting those cooling afternoon showers, even though there are a few around. And as we have been talking, when you get this big ridge of high pressure sitting over you, it kind of suppresses the thunderstorm activity, and only the strongest ones can grow and blossom. Well, we got some big ones just to the north of that, and we'll show you those in just a moment. Power lines are down, nickel-size hail, that kind of thing going on just to the north of us up around with Lakuchi. We're showing some showers now building in inland areas around Ellington. Warm temperatures everywhere with 89 degrees in Venice, 87 in Inglewood, 92 in Sarasota, 89 Lakewood Ranch, 87 in Bradenton, 87 Longboat Key, 94 degrees in Wauchula right now. So some warm temperatures around with heat indexes most everywhere cracking the century mark. We are looking for a warm evening, but basically a dry evening. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Thank you, John. Some very talented Manatee County High School students are back home after breaking records at the technology-based TSA National Conference in Nashville. 38 Braden River High School students have broken a record for the number of trophies and medals they received during a competition involving 8,000 students nationwide. Braden River's Technology Student Association competed in categories ranging from robotics to fashion design and website design, manufacturing, prototyping, even biotechnology design. But these intelligent and creative students are giving credit to their school and their advisor, Gil Burlew, for helping them reach their goals.
The last 5 out of 6 years, Braden River High School has finished first place in the state, breaking record after record every single year on the number of awards given to one school.
Overall, my entire career, I won first place in agriculture and biotechnology, future technology teacher and career preparation. So it's a first place trophy is not easy to come by, I'll just say that.
The Braden River TSA students are already looking ahead. It can take them the whole year to develop their project for next year's conference and competition. I'm sure it does, because these are complicated projects and it does take a while to put those together, to even conceive the ideas and then make them happen.
Well, it's paying off, though, isn't it?
Definitely is.
With national championships. Awesome for them. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, all eyes are on the FBI's director after he recommended to not charge Hillary Clinton over her email server issues. We'll hear what he had to say before a congressional committee today.
And meteorologist John Scalzi will be back with your full weather forecast. And later in Health Smart, hundreds of doctors disciplined for sexually abusing their patients. Why many of them are still allowed to practice medicine.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good.
Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
Looks like we're getting another new neighbor.
Now you could be the millionaire next door. Play Monopoly Florida Edition scratch-off games with a top prize of $5 million. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
FBI Director James Comey on the hot seat today.
Republicans demanded Comey testify on his recommendation to not charge Hillary Clinton or any of her aides over her email server. They accused the FBI and the Justice Department of having a double standard. Democrats also say they wanted more details, but blasted the hearing as a waste of time. Comey insisted again that no reasonable prosecutor would bring charges in this case.
And so when I look at the facts we gathered here, as I said, I see evidence of great carelessness, but I do not see evidence that is sufficient to establish that Secretary Clinton or those with whom she was corresponding both talked about classified information on email and knew when they did it, they were doing something that was against the law.
The chairman of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform said he wants the FBI to investigate whether Clinton perjured herself when she testified last year before the House Benghazi Committee.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump spending the day at Washington, the presumptive Republican nominee on Capitol Hill to reassure members of his own party. Some concerned about recent controversies. House Speaker Paul Ryan said lawmakers were grateful for the meeting, but there wasn't universal enthusiasm.
There was nothing in there that was new. It was not a persuasive conversation for me.
I've been concerned about the incendiary comments and the lack of policy specificity.
A meeting with Senate Republicans was especially combative. Some lawmakers said they were still troubled by Trump's praise earlier in the week of former Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein. Others were worried about Trump defending a controversial tweet showing Hillary Clinton next to what many say was a Star of David on a pile of campaign cash. Still, Republicans looking for bright spots. And what another hot day on the Suncoast. You know, when I came into work this morning, we had a shower right over the station.
Yeah.
And then the temperatures just shot up again. Right?
Yeah, and we may have one again tomorrow morning. You know, get the land breeze at night, might trigger a small shower.
Yeah.
But we'll take whatever we can get, I guess.
Anything would help at this point. It's brutal.
It is brutal. And, you know, it's going to be brutal for the next couple of days, it looks like. Relief probably won't come until next week, I think, when we'll start to see a little bit of a wind shift that'll favor those showers, kind of push back toward the coastline. But until then, you know what, though? We did get perhaps a couple of degrees cooler temperatures today. Yesterday, as I mentioned, 97 degrees in Punta Gorda. Today, at the same time, we're looking at temperatures that were about 94. So I guess every degree will help, but still we have a feels like right now outside at 104 degrees. So really still very steamy. 92 the air temperature. Dew point is at 75. West wind at 8. Maybe that morning shower helped to create a little bit of evaporation that lowered the temperatures a bit. Maybe the fact that we have a west wind instead of a southwest wind brought the temperature down 2 degrees, but I'll take 2 degrees. A lot of sunshine out there currently, and certainly in some places the temperatures are very warm. 94 Wauchula, 92 in Arcadia. We have 81 degrees in Mayaca. Why cooler there? We'll show you in just a second. 90 in Parrish, 89 Lakewood Ranch, 87 in Bradenton, 92 in Sarasota, 89 in Venice, and 87 in Inglewood. You can probably guess why it's cooler there, because they had a shower in progress over basically the park. We're seeing some showery activity, but the big stuff is located to our north. You know, we were talking over the course of the last couple of days about how the high pressure ridge, which is really sitting right out here, is acting like a lid on a pressure cooker, not allowing too many storms to develop, but the ones that do develop are the strongest ones that can bubble up through that lid. And the ones that have been strongest today have been to our north, where there have been reports of power lines down, nickel-size hail, strong gusty winds associated with these impulse-type storms that are located just to our north. Now, locally, we've got some showers in progress in Manatee County, particularly inland for the most part around Lakewood Ranch, Ellington, and then points even further inland in areas of the state park. Locally along the coastline, pretty quiet conditions. Punta Gorda seeing a shower in progress there, thunderstorm activity. That's the way it's going to be tonight. Most of these storms will stay in inland areas east of the interstate and fizzle out as the sun goes down. High pressure will remain our dominant weather feature again today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. It's not going anywhere. And so our weather is going to remain relatively the same. When will relief come? Relief will come probably on Monday when that high pressure ridge lifts north and moves a little bit further to the east, and our wind shifts to the southeast. But certainly not today, certainly not tomorrow, certainly not the day after. It stays put right there. And consequently, we have these same sort of situations. A light variable wind out of the west, bringing mostly inland storms, high heat indexes up around 104, 105, 106 degrees, and less than normal rainfall across the region. I know Scott and I were talking yesterday about how our grass is just desperate for a little bit of rainfall. And I'll tell you what, unless you live in inland areas, you're probably not going to see a whole lot. Except maybe tomorrow morning we might see the land breeze kick in, and as it does so, create a little bit of a shower near the coastline. But then the winds shift west, everything moves inland, the coast dries out rapidly, things heat up, and we're in for another sultry day. West wind coming in at about 10 knots through the evening hours into the overnight, and the official Suncoast forecast for the 7 days ahead show less than average rain chances till we get to next week when the wind shifts southeast, push the sea breeze closer to the coast, and we return to more average rain chance values. Back to you.
John, thank you. In Suncoast traffic, watch right now. No crashes to report in the area. Roads relatively clear, but in South Sarasota County, the outside lane of Toledo Blade Boulevard is closed in both directions near the entrance to I-75. Haley.
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, an investigation finds that since 1999, more than 3,100 U.S. doctors have been disciplined for sexual misconduct, and of those, 2,400 sexually abused their patients. Half of the doctors are still allowed to practice medicine. Those staggering numbers unveiled in a scathing report by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution after reviewing disciplinary documents in every state. Some of the cases involve molesting patients under anesthesia, exchanging drugs for sex, and child porn. A simple blood test that can diagnose an infection as bacterial or viral may improve care and address antibiotic overuse. Stanford researchers used a blood test that observed 7 human genes whose activity changes during infection, creating a pattern that can distinguish whether an infection is bacterial or viral. The test resulted in a 98.5% accurate diagnosis of the study's participants. The test takes 4 to 6 hours to complete, which is too long for critically ill patients. But developers hope that this test will be incorporated into a device that will reduce the turnaround time to under an hour. Coming up, a few Tour de France fanatics get to go to great heights to watch the race, and how you can be part of Snooty the Manatee's big birthday celebration.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Learn how to prepare a readiness plan and survival kit. Know your evacuation route. Be prepared, Suncoast, when severe weather threatens. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called three-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Dotoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
That's Chuck, proud homeowner, regular do-it-yourselfer. Today he's attempting an electrical repair. This is Pablo. He's an electrician with Mr. Sparky. How's he doing, Pablo?
Terrible, Mike.
Yeah. What Chuck doesn't realize is that almost 68,000 home fires are caused every year by electrical problems.
What?
If he doesn't have the proper tools and training, he's liable to start the next one.
Little help here!
That's what I'm talking about.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
You might want to write that number down.
Taiwan is bracing for a monster typhoon, which is barreling toward the island tonight. The typhoon is expected to slam into Taiwan early Friday morning their time. It's already kicking up huge waves. The typhoon has winds up to 160 miles an hour at last check, with higher gusts. Thousands of military troops have been mobilized. They're getting ready to respond to any emergencies using all the equipment available there. Meteorologists say it looks like a nearly perfect storm. It's been an unusually quiet storm season in parts of the northern hemisphere until now. And coming up at 6, why some Venice parents are worried, very worried about this storm. An accident involving a bridge and an 18-wheeler has claimed the life of a child and seriously injured a woman in Texas. A disposal truck's boom struck an overpass in Sealy, Texas, which caused it then to collapse. Investigators say part of the overpass fell on top of a vehicle. Inside, an adult and 2 children. All 3 had to be extracted from the car. A 12-year-old girl died from her injuries. The female driver was flown to the hospital with a chest injury.
Some Tour de France fanatics went above and beyond to watch the historic bicycle race. 2 fans watched the race from the top of a mountain. And while they were up there, they decided to play some chess. I mean, why not? No telling how they got to the top of that mountain or how they got down. I guess they're great hikers, that's my guess. A month-old giant panda cub's failed attempts at standing up are just way too cute. The baby panda was initially lying on his back and then started moving his limbs almost perfectly until he turned his body over on one side. Seems like he was trying to exert strength in order to stand up, of course, but soon he started panting because he got quite tired. The cub is currently at Wildlife Park in Belgium, but is under close supervision of Chinese and local experts.
Snooty the manatee has another big birthday coming up, and you can be part of the celebration. The lovable sea cow will turn 68 years old this year. The South Florida Museum in Bradenton needs volunteers for Snooty's birthday celebration to help with games, admission sales, and more. The Big Bash will happen on July 23rd from 10 to 2, but volunteers are needed from 9 to 3. You can sign up online on the South Florida Museum website. He deserves a huge party.
And he always has one.
I guess so.
Because he's, and he's going to keep having them because he seems to be healthy and enjoying life at the museum.
And setting records is for what we know or think is the longest surviving manatee.
Yeah.
68 and going.
He's famous. He's still going. Well, still to come in your Suncoast News, changing the rape culture, the way men and women view sexual consent.
How local police departments are working together now to help prevent attacks and assist more victims.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.